My name's Taylor. I am a registered nurse in home care, and I've been doing that for about 2 years. I'm originally from Red Deer, but I moved to Calgary for nursing school, and I've been here ever since. I felt like I had just been struggling in general, like my anxiety was pretty bad. I just felt like my mental health was a little bit out of my control. And then I ended up going through a breakup, which is really what was that pushing thing to reach out for counseling. And I just really wanted somebody to talk to, I guess was the main thing. Somebody not in my immediate circle of people. I've had a few different previous counseling experiences. Some have been better than others. I've had a couple counselors that I didn't really click with, I guess, but I was hopeful to try it again. I just felt like I was at a point where I couldn't control it anymore on my own. Like if I was having really bad anxiety, I would just shut down. So we went through a lot of just little mindfulness techniques, I guess. Kind of some basic ones I had heard of before, but she gave me a lot of new ones that I hadn't practiced before. She kind of talked me through a good balance of being there for yourself as well as other people, and knowing when you don't have the space for other people, that's okay. So we had definitely a lot of different topics that we kind of talked about in my sessions. When my counselor first suggested the group program, I was kind of I don't think that's my thing. I just like having this one-on-one time with somebody. But once she kind of explained it to me, and I felt like I was at this point with counseling where we didn't have so much to talk about anymore. It was more just practicing. So I thought it might be a good, different thing to do. And I ended up being super happy with it. I'm so glad I did it. I have tons of friends that I'm still talking to this day. Months after group ended, we still talk. The instructors were both amazing. And it was just a different, a nice different approach to counseling, I guess. It was nice to have other people going through similar things as you, that you could also bounce ideas off, as well as have the trained counselors there to kind of facilitate. It took me some time to get adjusted to it as far as sharing personal stuff in front of other people that I've never met before. But as we got to know each other, it definitely became a lot more comfortable. I feel like just having a space to talk with somebody really improved my mental health. And I think with counseling, having somebody that doesn't necessarily know you very well is nice, because you don't have to be scared of being judged by them, or, them knowing personal details about you. In the past with counseling, I've tended to maybe not do all the homework they've given me, and I've kind of just pushed it aside and thought oh, this is too much work. But this last time that I went through counseling, I feel like I was really ready to try and actually make a change. So using these little daily tasks that my counselor gave me, I did a lot of journaling, and just had a lot of stuff to do on my own time when I didn't have my counselor ready, available to talk to me. Shortly, even after group ended, I remember we used to do this exercise about taking the thoughts in your head and rewording them to make them more empowering and positive and not being so hard on yourself. And I guess towards the end of group, I remember subconsciously doing it. And then I take a step back and be oh my gosh, now these things I'm doing are becoming a natural part of my day to day. So that was the first time I felt I was on the track to improving my mental health for sure. I feel not so hard on myself anymore. I feel a lot more, appreciative of everything I go through. And, I'm starting to be a little bit nicer to myself, because it makes a world of a difference. I definitely have the resources to improve my mental health. It was just having trouble finding them, I guess. My counselor was super empowering and just always cheering me on, and she always believed in me. And when I didn't really believe in myself, I'd say for sure, just go for it. If you're exploring counseling, or a group program or anything like that. I know it's pretty scary to start. Even with the few times I've started counseling over from scratch, I've been super nervous, not quite sure, but I feel like the tools are out there, the resources are there. They're definitely worth trying. If it doesn't work out and it's not your thing, at least you gave it a shot. But I would definitely recommend counseling to anybody. And I do it to the people in my life, because it made such a huge difference.